truth about artificial insemination. This case had the sperm donor equivalent of a prenup, a signed contract saying the donor would not be financially liable. But over the years, the dad increasingly enjoyed the rights of parenthood, and that's when things got more complicated. The simple joy of birth.
It was absolutely amazing. I had a fairly easy birth for first birth. It wasn't a prolonged labor, and I was absolutely exhilarated to have a child.
But for Jana Mintz, events leading up to the birth of her son were anything but simple. It began when she approached a friend, Kevin Zornig, and asked if he would donate his sperm so she could have a baby.
Well, at the time, I felt like my biological clock was ticking. I was really interested in him as a father for these children because he was artistic, he's a musician. It seemed like it would be a nice combination of genes. He absolutely loved the child. Absolutely was so proud to be a father, proud to have a son, and we have pictures of him just beaming with his son.
Jana says Kevin's involvement with their son only increased with time.
Kevin was taking our son a couple of mornings a week, watching him in his home, and I was working part-time, and he was really enjoying the time that he spent with his son.
Things went so well, there was a second birth, a girl, also from artificial insemination using Kevin's sperm.
And as they got older, we set up a visitation schedule, and the children would go back and forth, and they spent sometimes weekends. My children think of Kevin as their father, and they always have. He's been in their lives since the days that both of them were born, and they call him Dad.
But Jana says when Dad began making demands, including where the children lived, problems developed. So in 2000, Jana tried to clarify Kevin's legal role, including the question of child support.
Well, it was shocking to me when his lawyer showed up with arguments that he shouldn't have to pay child support because he was a sperm donor. It seemed quite preposterous. This man isn't a sperm donor, he's a father.
After an 8-year court battle, the New Mexico Court of Appeals said Jana was right. The judge's ruling says Kevin is the father of both children and is subject to pay child support, adding that agreements absolving him of any financial responsibility for either child are not enforceable, and that the father must pay.
I think fatherhood and parenthood is about accepting the rights and responsibilities of taking care of children. All the rights and responsibilities.
Kevin refused to comment for our story, but in a prior interview with our Albuquerque affiliate, he said he thought it was all about money.
Technically not supposed to be true, but basically, if you want to see your kids, you better pay.
Family law professor Jennifer Rosado says cases like this are becoming more common every day.
If you reach out and you try to have a relationship with the child, that you also might have the obligation that goes along with it with child support. And the courts seem to be trending in that direction as well.
And because even anonymous sperm donors may wind up having to pay, some say it may have a chilling effect on those willing to donate.
There is a pretty good chance that records are going to be unsealed and anonymity is going to yield to the best interest of the child. It may make it less likely that someone's willing to be a sperm donor.
Now, the operative legal term of art is the best interests of the child. Lawyers and medical ethicists say that can be triggered by things like genetics. Because certain genes predispose people to certain diseases, there may be critical medical reasons for an anonymous donor's medical history to be released.
So that would be a justification. And are there other reasons for having an anonymous donor suddenly made public and forced to pay?
Absolutely. If, again, in an extreme case, if a mother became sick, became unable to take care of a child, she might then go to the sperm donor who may have remained anonymous all those years and be asked to pay child support.
But it's interesting, this is trending this way, even though you make a prior agreement that it will not happen.
Even though there's a signed contract.
Judges are overturning them. All right, something new. Thank you, Juju. And if you want to weigh in with what you think, you can share.